Hey everybody, it's Mr. Spinelli.
And Rivera!
Woo! Two of the best people in one place at the
We
same
missed
time.
you already.
It's
so
March,
much.
It's March 16th. We're coming to you live from Wabanzi Valley High School.
Room 257.
Bring it. All right,
Here we go.
We're going to look at this first problem, finding missing sides using Pythagorean triples. So I'm going to look at these two numbers that I'm given, 20 and 12, and I'm going to ask myself, what are both of these numbers divisible by? 4! So then I see that this triangle is clearly 4 times bigger than one of my triples. Which triple is it? I don't know.
Let's find out.
20. Divide that side 20 by 4. Divide that side 12 by 4. Let's see what we get. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Boom shakalaka. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So I know that this side here, 12, corresponds with the 3. 20 corresponds with the 5. And the missing side corresponds with 4. That means I got to take my 4, multiply by the scale factor of 4, which is circled inside. 4 times 4 gives me 16. X is 16 centimeters. Dunzo.
Here we
Take
go.
it away, Miss Rivera.
All right, so we're looking at what do 24 and 10 both divide by. I see they're both even, so I'm going to divide them by 2. There's my scale factor. Okay, when I do 24 divided by 2, Mr. Spinelli's leaning away from me. He doesn't want to sit next to me.
COVID.
24 divided by 2 gives me 12. 10 divided by 2, that's going to give me 5. So when we look up at all of our triples, we can see that we have 5, 12, 13. Yes?
Yeah.
This one will be our 5 side. 24 is going to be our 12. So then that means that this hypotenuse is our 13. You're not done yet. Okay, to figure out what x is going to equal, we need to do 13 times 2, and our x is going to be 26.
Woo!
Yeah, buddy.
Bring it.
I'll start the next one.
You start the next one.
Okay, it's happening. Here we go. In our triangle, all you're doing is setting up ratios. Remember, ratios are just fractions, one number over another. So, okay, I'm going to do these first 3. Sine, cosine, and tangent of S. So remember, my rule is always circle the angle I'm circling S and label your sides. Across from the 90, that's always your hypotenuse. And then opposite your angle is your opposite. And next to the angle, that'll be your adjacent. Okay? Once you have everything labeled, think back to this. I hope when you all take your test.
Sogatoa.
Yeah.
Sogatoa.
Please write it down and use it. Okay? So first one, tangent of S. Tangent is O over A, so I already have those labeled. O over A is going to be 15 over 20. Yes? Okay. Sine, we see that sine is O over H, so we have those labeled already. 15 over 25. Hey, guess what? Mr. Spinelli and I don't care if you reduce it, so just leave it like this. Looks great. Okay, last one, cosine. A over H, we have them labeled 20 over 25, and then you're all done. Here you go.
So then, Mr. Spinelli, I'm coming in with a different color. I'm going to green. I'm going to cross out Mr. Rivera's little S so I don't get confused, and I'm going to circle the letter R now because my angle is R. Notice the only thing that's going to change is my O and my A. Hypotenuse never moves. So I'm going to put a little X through the O, the A, and make an O. Do the same for the O. Swap an O and A. Same questions. Sine is O over H. So I'm doing O over H, which is 20 over 25. Got all my sides labeled. This should be plug and chug. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. 20 over 15. And last but not least, cosine is A over H. So we got a big 15 over 25. Any questions? Too bad. Can't ask them. Send us an email.
Email.
All right, next question coming up.
Get it.
All right, we're going to get colorful here. We're going to draw a wall. Here's my wall. Nice wall. It's a beautiful wall.
It's a good looking wall.
Now, ladder. Oh, I think this ladder should totally be pink. This pink ladder is 12 feet long, leaning up against a vertical wall. Keyword vertical. That means up and down, just like we measure height, altitude, all those things. Vertical, up and down. So my ladder is 12 feet long. The top end, where's the top, Miss Rivera? Is it down here at the bottom?
No, it's up.
It's up.
Up at the top.
So then this length right here along the wall is 11 feet. Okay, I'm kind of making my picture a little cluttered,
There it is.
but that's okay.
At least it has pretty colors.
Beautiful colors. I'm trying to figure out what the measure of the angle formed by the ladder with the ground. Well, here is my ground. So where do I think that angle is going to be? Well, between the ladder and the ground. So I'm trying to find this angle here.
There it is.
What's my little thing I need to remember?
SOHCAHTOA.
SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So I look at this. I'm going to label my sides. I'm going to do exactly what Ms. Rivera said to do. I'm going to circle my angle. Opposite of the right angle is my hypotenuse. The 11 will be my opposite because it's opposite of the angle that I circled. So I don't care about adjacent in this problem.
Don't need it.
So what am I working with? So, not a needle pulling thread. So, I've got to write my function. Sine of x, sine of my angle. Angle always goes inside the trig function. Equals opposite 11 over hypotenuse 12. Now this just became a calculator problem.
Uh-oh.
How do I get rid of sine, Ms. Rivera?
Inverse.
Inverse. So I've got to do x equals the sine inverse
Or as they
of
say,
11 over 12.
sine -1.
Oh, sine -1.
Those kids.
Totally. So then I type this in my calculator. What mode do I need to be in my calculator?
You should be in degrees. Hit the mode button. Make sure it's in degrees.
Do that. You should get 66.44 degrees because we just solved for
Check it.
angle. There is the angle that the ladder forms with the ground as it leans against the wall. All right. Mr. Rivera's going to hit
Page
you
2.
out. We're busting out numbers 5, 6, and 8 for you.
5.
We trust that you can figure out 7, 9, and 10 based on the answers that we have posted on the document that you should be accessing to review for this upcoming test on Math Excel.
Here we go. All right, so I'm going to circle the angle first. There it is. Okay, label your sides. We don't have a hypotenuse. We do have opposite the angle. Opposite. And then next to the angle, that's our adjacent. Okay, so here's our SOHCAHTOA. I have O and A, okay, so I'm going to use tangent. Okay, like Mr. Spinelli said, we only take sine, cosine, and tangent of the angle. So I'm going to put the angle next and then set up my ratio. Over here it says O over A, so I need to say 15 over X. Okay?
X is in the denominator. What are we going to do?
No. Okay, so I need to switch my color. Got it. Okay, first we can only multiply by what's on the bottom. Got to multiply by X.
We don't even show all these steps in my class. This is mind-blowing.
Woo! We're doing it. So we have X times tangent 20 equals 15. To get this X by itself, I need to opposite of multiplying and divide by tangent 20. Okay, so what's going in your calculator? 15 over tangent 20, which should give you 41.21.
No units because the 15 didn't have any units. It's a side. Moving on to the next one. I'm going to switch back to blue. Ms. Rivera, great idea. Switching colors. Circling my angle. What's opposite of my angle? It's opposite. What's next to my angle? It's adjacent. There is no hypotenuse. There's nothing labeled on the side opposite of this right angle. So I've got another tangent problem. You've already seen it. You don't need me to write this, but I will. Tangent of my angle. What's my angle? I don't know. So I'm going to call it X equals opposite. That side is 8. Adjacent. That side is 19. How do I get rid of tangent?
We just did this. Inverse.
Inverse. So I'm going to bust out a different color. So X is going to be equal to the tangent inverse, or tangent minus 1, of 8 over 19. So when I'm solving for an angle, I better get an angle. Type this in my calculator. 22.83 degrees.
Boom.
Boom shakalaka.
Dunzo. All right, number 8, here we go. So here's my angle, circling. Label your sides. Ooh, we have a hypotenuse this time. Opposite the 90 degrees, that's our hypotenuse. And then adjacent next to the angle. There we go. So O and A, that's going to be...
SOHCAHTOA. Don't forget your car keys.
Cosine, and then your angle 70 equals, follow that ratio please, A over H, so X over 18. These are the ones we love because all we have to do is multiply by the denominator 18. 18 times cosine 70 is what goes into your calculator. So X is going to be 6.16. Dunzo.
All right, be sure to ask us questions via email if you've got them for 7, 9, or 10. Otherwise, check those solutions, and I think you'll be good. Next question. We
Almost done. Almost done. Hang in there.
We got a picture of a, what is that up there?
A bird.
We got a bird up here.
And a hot air balloon, Miss Rivera's all-time fave.
Bird is the word. And we got a mountain, base of the mountain. So the question is, what is angle 1? Is it an angle of elevation or an angle of depression? We got a horizontal line here. See it dashed here? And the angle is being measured down from that horizontal line. So this is an angle of depression.
Yep.
To be specific, this is an angle of depression from the bird to the hot air balloon. So you got to be specific in terms of whose vantage point we're talking about. Now if we switch to the other angle in question, it's angle 4. Well, I've got a horizontal line. Is that angle looking up or down?
Up.
Up. Elevation or depression, Ms. Rivera?
Elevation.
Angle of elevation. To be specific, that's the angle of elevation from the base of the mountain to the person in the hot air balloon. We hope you have enjoyed this joint operation between Mrs. Rivera and myself.
Yes, we miss you guys. Please feel free to reach out to us via email at any point. If you even want to write something, a problem down, what you've done, take a picture of it, send it to us. Be creative. We'll be creative with you, but we are here to help and support and want you guys to do well. Take care of yourselves.
See ya.